Good afternoon, Floss Tube. It's Lynette here from Brisbane, which has suddenly turned into a very wet and thundery afternoon. I'm hoping the worst of it has passed and you can hear me fine. Thank you for tuning in for an update. I've got quite a bit to show today and it's been quite a busy week. So I'll start with, and I have my notes down here, so I'm going to start with some finishes, which I forgot I actually had, but I have finished the Woodland Winter Mystery Cell by Autumn Lane Stitchery. I really enjoyed stitching this. It's a 36 count raw Zweigart linen and I stitched it 1/2. So I'm very pleased with that finish. I have no idea what I'm going to do with it. Maybe it will become a project bag. And then the next one I thought was, well, it might have been a finish, and I have show notes and it is down as a finish on there, but it's not quite yet. It's this one, and this is the finished picture. And look, it's so close. I've just got some flowers to go in this bottom corner. And that one will be a finish. And hopefully it will be fully finished this week, as I thought I'd give it to my daughter for Easter, just because it happens to be finished around Easter. It was just because I thought it would be fun to give to her. So those are my nearly finishes. Then I've had a few new starts because, of course, the LolaCrow Extraordinary Bird Cell is underway, and I am loving working on this. So here's where I've got to. And I think I'm at about, around 25%, I think. And I worked out if I do 160 stitches a day, I'll be finished in time for the next part. The next part comes out, I've actually got notes on this, May the 16th is when the next part starts, and we've got all this time to finish the framework. And I was actually at 22.8% when I put it down last night, and going at the rate I'm going, it should be finished on the 5th of May, so I'll hope to keep that up. This is a beautiful piece of linen from Cascade, Colour Cascade Fabrics here in Australia. It's a 36 count, which I've discovered is my favourite at the moment, and I'm stitching it 1/2. And when I bought the fabric, I bought a piece that she already had finished, because otherwise I was going to have to wait 2 or 3 weeks, and I just wanted to have it to start. And I misread the stitch count measurements, and I misread the 25 by 31 centimetres as inches, so I bought a piece big enough for that, and it's actually, finished piece will only be 10 inches by 12 inches. But I'm not at all unhappy, because now I've got a whole lot more of this. There's another bird on the other side that will come in, but then it's mostly framework between now and May. So I'm really enjoying that. Then, let's get myself organised here. Then other new starts, because my market patterns came in from a Stitch in Time. They take a bit longer here because I've got to get all the way to Australia. So I bought 4, which I'll show you as we go along. I was intrigued by the, was it 324, I think, that Works by ABC put out last year, and this year we've got a 365, a year in stitches. So I thought I'd have a go at this, and then I just heard the other day that she has released a follow-up one to 324, which has got specialty stitches, which looks interesting as well. But I bought this one. I'm just going to dabble in this as I feel like, and just enjoy working with the different colours. I think she says you need model stitched 1/2 on 36 count, and you just need 12 inches of floss, because it's 365 colours. So what we're doing is I'm working out what I've got, and then a friend of mine said, we'll let you know what you haven't got, and she might be able to give me 12 inches. But I'm doing mine on Hardanger, 22 count Hardanger. I've just got 2. So that's literally just because it will be fun project. Some days I might just want to poddle around on that, and other days I mightn't touch it at all. Then we have the most exciting news here in Strathpine, Brisbane, Queensland, Australia. We have a new cross-stitch shop. It's called KoKo xstitch, and it's spelt KoKo. And she's just opened up last month, and she's slowly finding her feet. And I got to visit this week, and it's beautiful. And you can't go and visit a new cross-stitch shop without buying something, can you? That would be just rude. So this was one I regretted not getting at market. So she has quite a few of the blue flower patterns. So I had to get this one because I have pigeons that are outside here, and when it's not raining you can sometimes hear them. And today it's perfect because he's got gumboots on, and the pigeons here will need gumboots today. And I've got a really, really, really tiny start just to get it started. There it is. So that's the head of the pigeon and the daffodil just above his head I've started. And these use, so the daffodils is the DMC colour variations, I think. It's a yellow, that's just a plain DMC. And then it also uses some cottage garden threads, so that's for the pigeon's body, and this is for the purple flowers behind it. I don't know whether I've got all the colours, I just got the ones so I could actually get started. So yeah, these will be in the cottage garden threads ones. So that's going to be fun to use those. I've used them before; they're lovely threads. So that was my impromptu new start because I visited a beautiful new shop. One of my other market purchases was Stench Stack, and there's a reason for this. I was down visiting my sister last month, and she's got a lot of American friends, and she said, I want to know what skunk smells like. And she can't get more than, it's horrible, it's awful. She can't get anything more than that. So when I saw this come out, I thought, well, maybe I just need to stitch her some skunks. And I was telling my son about it, and he goes, but you're going to have smell in the pillow? And I said, well, no, it's a cross stitch. Anyway, I'm loving stitching this. So we have a bit more thunder. So this is a 32 count piece, an offcut I had, and I'm just stitching them 1/2 on this. And I'm just really enjoying it. There's 3 different pinks in those flowers. There's a Classic Colourworks, a Weeks Dye Works, and a DMC in those flowers. Now I'm not sure, because I've got them in this, all in this beautiful project bag. I'm not sure where the dye lots have changed because I actually had some of these in my stash. So that's the second-hand rose, and that's crescent colours. So obviously I've had that a long time. And this one's Camellia by Weeks. So, and then you add, just pull them all out, shouldn't I? And then you add the 371 DMC. So those 3 colours are in the flowers. And then it needs the collards Weeks for some of the leaves. So I've got all that just to play with and get it done. I was hoping that there might have been enough left here to do the pigeon and a puddle, but there wasn't. So. And I've started where I have because I can get it in a hoop. So I started as far across as I can because it will become a little pillow. That'll be just fun stuff. And I wanted to do a stack, and I haven't done one of Paulette's stack, so that's my first one. Then we get to, so they're my new starts. And then we get to my whips. So I'm doing SPRINGO with Carolyn and Robin at Magazine Monthly Challenge, which is, it's really different, this SPRINGO. I've left my SPRINGO board on the other side of the room. Very smart. So the board goes SPRINGO across the top, and then you have 5 down below it, and you assign a project for each letter. And when Carolyn calls the number, so I told you it was stormy. Maybe we had to prove it. Anyway, so you can get bingos, or you might not get any bingos because it's a 7x5 board. So it's quite different the way we're doing it, and I'm quite enjoying it. So for S, I have Polar Bear Stocking, which has been called once. Oh, and I'm keeping it in this bag that I finished last week just because I just finished it and I needed something to put in, so it's in there. So that's this for my grandson, who is now 6 months old. It's just so fun. So I'm just working across. I had to, of course, change the name. And then a little bit tricky, but then I ended up just putting all the background diamonds in, and you can see. And now I'm just filling in that and working my way down. This is a 30 count, I can't remember what it's called now, 2/2, just something I picked up at a store that was closing down here. I'm really enjoying stitching on that. So that needs to be finished by the end of the year. Oh, here I've got it down. No, I have Elixir. This was called Elixir. I don't know anything else about it, but I'm enjoying working on that as well, so that's good. So that's S. So P is for Plum Street Samplers. I think I showed you this as a new start last time. And I'm also sort of doing Laura Stitching by the Shore's I Spy Challenge. And her first one was something silly. So I've used this for something silly, because how silly is a large basket on a house and a rabbit jumping over it? It's probably a hare, actually, long ears. But another Plum Street, so I'm enjoying this. I haven't, there's quite a bit of stitching in that moon, and there's a bit of a star here. So this is 36 count light Mocha Edinburgh linen. Yeah, so 1/2. So we might, if it gets called again, I think this has been called twice. If it gets called again, I'll definitely finish the moon. The one I really wanted was Winter Moon, and I was having a bit of trouble finding it. It kept being out of stock, and then I finally found it at Exquisite Cross Stitch, which is a mail order place just north of us, and she had it, and I had to buy more lily pad for Spring Moon when I get to the leaves, so I got this as well. So I'm really looking forward to starting that, but I think I'll finish Spring Moon first, and there's all my bits and pieces of the various threads in there. So that's SPR is for Rosewood Manor, and Carolyn is also stitching this for her SPRINGO. But it's interesting, obviously her numbers under her R are different to mine because they're coming out on different days. I think this has only been called once. Yeah, once. So I've worked across here and here. These two borders I've been working across. I don't know, maybe it was called, I feel like I finished the second bird recently, but I can't remember whether that was part of SPRINGO or not now. But I didn't like stitching the birds, but it's interesting The second bird was easier to stitch than the first, and I think it's because of the directions the stitches flow. It was easier than working them that way. So that is beautiful. S-P-R-I. So I is me, I'm I. Me, myself and I is the way I worked it. So I'm doing Remember Me by Teresa Kogut. So me, myself and I. Now, this one was funny. Well, it wasn't funny until I worked out how to fix it. This is on Fox and Rabbit Desert Taipan 40 count by Stitches Merchant, and I'm going to be able to get these fabrics locally now from KoKo xstitch. And she's got some colour Cascade fabrics, and she's also got some sort of Paddock and Lane. So it's a local dyer, so that's going to be fun. So I like to start in the top corner, but with this one, and my fabric is just wide enough. So I started in the middle and worked my way across, and I got all the way across, and I finished this flower, which has got about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 colours, including the leaves. So I've done all the way across here. And then I think I came back here and wanted to work a bit more on this, and discovered somewhere here I had one extra stitch. And so the whole thing had this extra stitch, and I'm going, well, I'm not frogging all this. This is 40 count. I'm not frogging it. I'll just have to compensate. So I was marking on I've got this both in markup RXP as well as a paper copy. So on my paper copy, I'm marking a line down to remind myself of where to add the extra stitch. And then I had a brainwave. Sorry, I'm sticking paper. Instead of frogging this, why don't I just frog this bit? So that's what I did. I frogged back, took out the extra stitch and carried on. And it was just like this delayed brainwave, if I can fix this without having to frog all this. So I was very happy with that. So this one has been called twice, I think, and I haven't done the second lot of stitches. So it's either an hour or 100 stitches. This one was a day where it didn't get stitched, so we can make up after the 25th of the month, we can make up extra. So this will have to have a make-up day. And I've seen, now who was I watching? Someone, I can't remember her name, was doing the house in blue. And it's actually working. But I'm happy with this, with these original colours. And in Laura's I Spy Challenge, there was earth tones. So this is the one I'm using for earth tones for her. And I've made my stitch counts for Laura's 200. So I've done that one, and I've done the spring room. Most of those have had 200 on it. So for Laura's. So now we're up to I, S-P-R-I-N. N, I decided something new. So the new thing I was starting was the stained glass sampler cell by Carolyn Manning. So the colours for these two is out, because this is April stitch, but we have the whole framework for it. So it's a mystery as far as the colours, but we've got all the framework. So I've just been working on the framework, and I'll come back and put the stitches in. I don't know, I might put these in before April's over, I'm not sure yet. But at the moment I'm just DMC on fabric Flair 18 count from Sew It All. The fabric's called Cloud Lilac. I've had it in my stash, so I'm just enjoying working on that. And I'll obviously have more because it's only 3 wide, so there'll be enough on the other side for something else. So that's N because it was my newest cell at the time. S-P-R-I-N. What have I done here? G. So G is the garden for the Fox and Rabbit 2025 cell, which I'm behind in. and it hasn't been called SPRINGO yet. So Caroline, we need a G. She told me she'd try hard, but she's not trying hard enough. That's okay. And then O is my oldest full coverage, which is this cute little one I showed you last time. So I put some stitches in here. I made my way. I feel like I must have talked about this last time, because I feel like I said I made my way all the way across last time. So it has been called once, and I think that's when I worked my way across. So there's still a bit to go on it, despite the fact it's only tiny. It's only 125 by 81, so it's tiny, but it still takes a bit of time. So that's that one. So that's SPRINGO. So then I've already showed you a couple of my market purchases, so I've got a couple more. So I got mine from a Stitch in Time in Hobart here in Australia, and this is I have not seen this designer before. It's Art Mishka Cross Stitch, and her name is Anna Gutova, and she's from Parma in Italy, and I just really like this. And my lovely friend Jenny had given me a piece of fabric for Christmas from the Stitches Merchant. This is French Laundry, Colour Pioneer Spirit, it's 32 count. It's just a fat 8, and this will just fit on there. So it's got this slight greeny tint to it, and I think that'll work quite well on there. So I can't wait to start that. And then my other market purchase, I could not resist. Who could resist a beautiful Rosewood Manor? I just think this is beautiful. I could almost put aside Camberly Manor and just start this. And I have a piece of fabric also from the Stitches Merchant that my son bought me. And this is also French Laundry. This is a 40 count. Baby Galar is the colour. It's got a bit of a pale pinky tone to it, depending on the light. And I bought, when I was at KoKo xstitch this week, I bought two of the Weeks Dye Works to get me going. Sorry, my arm keeps sticking to the paper. And I think that will work. So I just got the ones that started in the top corner, so I can start when I want to, and then I can just pop down the road to KoKo xstitch and get more. So yeah, I've got the two top corner ones. Yep, those two up there, I think. She didn't have all her weeks in yet. The second half of her stock is coming in this week, so I'll be down there on Wednesday. So I was very excited when all my market releases, I actually had fabric that I could start them on. So that's very exciting. So then, some of the I Spy challenges include a long dog sampler, and I think the my smog from Tempting Tangles, which I think I showed you last time. But I'm mainly concentrating on the SPRINGO and then branching out after that. So that's all my acquisitions. So I have an Etsy shop, and it's had a bit of a checkered career. I might have mentioned it last time, but I've actually taken some of my designs down to Denise at KoKo xstitch, and I've actually already sold, I just took 2 of each, and she's already sold. I'm just trying to find a printout because I haven't got it in the bottles because they're all at the shop. So she's already sold 2 of these, so she wants more copies of this. So my plan is for this week and the next few days is to get some of these added on my Etsy so you can buy them as a PDF as well. So this is Stars in Your Eyes, because when you're in love you have stars in your eyes. And there's also a version, if you don't want to write stars in your eyes, which you can see is in the back stitch, I've got a version where there's the alphabet in there, so you get both of those. And very well done. I haven't got, all I've got is the colour pages, so I haven't got sizes or anything on there, so sorry about that. It's only, I think it's on an 18 count, it's only about 6 inches or so. It's not big, and it will have been stitched 1/1. And I think I designed that originally when Jacob started the black sampler November, and I decided I'd design a black chart. And I've got another one that is actually called Black, which I need to finish stitching as well, in a similar style. So I do have a model for, no, let's do the non-model ones first. So there's a little one that's called So Happy Pin Cushion. It's just a tiny little thing you can stitch up for a friend. So that's that one. And then this one, both of these, this one and this one, published in a magazine here in Australia a little while ago, which doesn't exist anymore. So this one's a trio of samplers. This one's your alphabet. This one's Buon Natale. I'm not really good at my languages. This is lavender and lace, and then you get a 4th bonus pattern with this, which is Joyeux Noël. It also comes with this one, it's just there's no stitch model for it. And they're only tiny as well, they'd be quick stitches for a friend. These frames are 4x6, so you can see they're quite tiny. So I just need to PDF these things and get them up on my Etsy. And then I think I showed you this one last time. So this, she also has in her shop now, and that is up in my Etsy shop now. So, and I think I showed you this one last time too. This is also up in my Etsy shop. So I've got 2 in there at the moment, more to come. And then this week I need to finish getting this is all cross stitch and everything done. I just need to write the cover page for this little needle book, and there's full instructions for how to make it. It's got a bit of wool felt pages for your needles, 30s print, a little tie, and so this pattern you'll get the chart, and this is, I think this is stitched 1/1 on, I'm pretty sure that's 22 count. I like 1/1 on 22 count. So those things you can look out for maybe a bit later in the week. So I'm filming on Saturday, Saturday the 12th. So hopefully these will be in my shop before Easter. I should have a bit of time to get them up. Just everything takes a lot of time, all this stuff. And one other thing, I think so I've got 2 other things actually, I'll just show you. I think I was working on this last time. This is the cover for that little pouch from Jennifer Plouston. So I've actually done a little bit of stitching, just a little bit of stitching there. And so once this is finished, I can put the whole thing together, but I'm just doing other things. And then I'm also doing some crocheting, so hold on a sec. It's on the other side of the table. So we've got a thing called Makers Club happening at that yarn place at Samford, and the first 2 months have been a bit of a dismal failure for me, but I have managed to start this one. So this is the Indie Blanket from Dada's Place. You can find it on Ravelry, and the original's done in 4-ply, and I happen to have some Bendigo 4-ply cotton, and I started this on the plane when I was travelling, and coming along. Yeah, so it's only a little It's only a little baby blanket kind of thing. So just for a little bit of crocheting, light relief. Okay, so that's all I've got. Obviously the thunder's stopped, and hopefully it's not too loud on the video. I was sitting over on the computer just tidying up my my notes so that when I've got this uploaded I can attach these to the video. And I saw the lightning out my window and the thunder was straight overhead, and I jumped, and I've had issues with my shoulder. My shoulder didn't like that jump. It was very loud. Okay, I'll stop rambling. Thank you for watching. I look forward to all of those of you who are making YouTubes, and I forgot to write down. There were some new people who've done videos and I forgot to write them down, so I will try and get them up and happening next time. So have a wonderful Easter, and I will see you after Easter, hopefully. Bye.